Welcome to Dr. Jester Gloats. I think this may end up being a good segment. After all, we're getting a lot of really woke stuff, failing spectacularly, and it's just utterly hilarious. Yet it is something that you get sometimes when you browse, well, Reddit. But this is the funny bit. This is from our games. So basically, in other words, as you can actually see on top of here with the banner, I'm very likely banned. And yes, I am banned. For the surprise of no one. Because after all, woke mods, they really like that power trip they have. Anyway, here it is, the funny bit. Pronouns can devastate small indie games in today's climate, and Steam isn't doing enough to help our unfortunate experience. We are a small team of 3 who recently released our first game after 5 years of development and a $0 budget. Feedback has been overwhelmingly positive, and I'm super proud of that. But there is a stressful hurdle that is causing us a lot of pain. Our game features a character encyclopedia of NPCs, and among the numerous details listed, like height and dislikes, are pronouns. And this single decision has had a purely negative effect in our game. Yeah, look, you're a goddamn fucking developer activist, so you're very likely going to find out people who are just not that pleased with the choices you added to the game, so they do tend to voice their opinion about it. Let's take a look. Here it is, the encyclopedia entry, named Mo, age 30, pronouns he, him. So in other words, what we have here is retarded nonsense that they added for absolutely no other reason but to be an activist. Because pronouns, you do not use anything beyond he, him, she, her, and you only use it when you're addressing it as a third person, usually not facing the individual. And even more so if you have a they, them. That's just very rarely used in English language, and you cannot use it for an individual like that in the way the idiots at the woke mob is actually using. You only use they, them in singular to address an individual in rare circumstances. But anyway, continuing, because this thing is utterly hilarious, and I'm gonna get to the actual good, very funny, hilarious bit soon enough. Anyway, the single decision has had a purely negative effect in our game. We were replacing woke-led curator lists before release, attracting negative attention. Well, thank God for these curators. They really save us money, don't they? They really are saving us money. We can actually literally avoid crap games. We can literally avoid giving these people our hard-earned money. And that's, my friends, is the good thing about Steam. You actually have these things warning us about activist developers. Oh boy. A long Steam discussion thread attacking pronouns devolved into transphobic rants and was linked from 4chan as a justification for pirating our game. Yeah, I checked this. It's not very long. I think it was, 30 posts? And there isn't much about it? A guide was posted on how to hex edit our game to remove pronouns with offensive replacements. Yeah, and that, my friends, it is literally the funniest bit of the entire thing. Right, fixing the genderphobia and homophobia. So the guy here did an excellent thing. I wonder if this thing is deleted. Very good point, I'll probably check it out later. Anyway, the guy here gave you an instruction how to do it. Open FallenLEaf's title. The guy literally forgot to censor the name here, but I'll show you the game later on SteamDB, and the numbers are pathetic, which explains why they decided to do this post on on subreddit games, so they could get possibly more money, allegedly. Anyway, find a replace to something more accurate, like him, male, she, her, female, they, them, female, bi, he, they, gay. But remember, you actually have to add spaces if you are going to replace it, especially on a hex editor. You need to add space to actually account for the missing bytes in that, but you don't. He, they, she, they, lesbian, he, she, they, futanari. Futanari is actually a Japanese thing in which a woman, literally a woman with XX chromosome, but somehow, somewhere developed a dick. Yeah, don't ask me. That's the weird stuff that Japanese people are into. I'm not. Anyway, pronouns, sex, kink. Which is literally, let's face it, literally that. They are literally goddamn that, sex and kink. Because let's face it, this is just absolutely hilarious. If these woke morons actually think that the pronouns are telling us anything more than just their, well, kink. And pronouns is a very big indicator that something is woke as fuck and retarded. But before I continue, here is a trailer. Right, so, continuing this absolute shit show, which is absolutely hilarious. Our game is called Woke in YouTube comments and Discord channels. Well, yeah, literally, it is fucking woke. How can you not understand that? You added fucking retarded pronouns that nobody goddamn fucking asked for. Well, at least you're paying customers, and now suddenly, oh my god, woe is me. Ah, fuck off! Right, anyway. Negative reviews protest the inclusion of pronouns despite enjoying the game otherwise. Interesting. Why would you, be bothered by 2% drop? That's literally, well, nothing. These reviews have dropped our rating from what would have been... These reviews have dropped our rating from what would have been 96 to 94% and below the 95 threshold for overwhelming positive when we hit 500 reviews. The encyclopedia is purely optional fluff, and practically speaking will actually benefit if it and its tens of thousands of words were never written, which is a shame because we loved making it. Here is a simple solution. Either add like the guy suggested with a hex edit, or just goddamn fucking sod off and take out the entire fucking thing because it was utterly retarded to add it in the first place. Which is actually a banner saying, guys, look how woke we are! That's literally what it means when you add pronouns to something. Continuing. Well, you were aware that this was a risk. We weren't. Other indie devs should take note. Well, let me put it this way. You are actually trying to develop a game and expecting gamers to actually purchase your retarded product. So in that regard, most of the gamers are actually very, very allergic to retarded, regressive ideas or progressive ideas because you people are fucking dumb. You think that the woke people, the woke mafia literally buys these products? No, they do not. They, in fact, are the very tiny minority, but they are very, very, very loud. And being very loud, they like to pretend they are the majority, but it's not. So, in fact, you start to have tiny little problems like this, in which people are just not very happy, and, you know, your product tends not to make that much money, which is pretty hilarious. Remember Dustborn? Yeah. Anyway, continuing. All of this is for simply including pronouns in an in-game encyclopedia. Well, it's just scream being woke, and that, my friends, is what it is. It's not just us. Fellow indie Arco recently faced a Steam user threatened buying, refunding, and negatively refunding the game over perceived wokeness. Multiple comments assured the devs that Steam would quietly remove such reviews. Oh, fuck off. In this general perception of how Steam handles this kind of thing, why would they? Steam has no policy against this kind of review, should they? What are Steam reviews about? Purely the quality of a game, or they use its personal politics? That's what pushed me to make this thread and start a dialogue about it. I'm just starting a dialogue. I just want censorship! Why people don't seem to understand that? Oh, suck a cock. Well, first and foremost, you added pronouns into your game. That means it's very political and it shows your personal politics, which means it's open for debate and it's open for review. You absolute troglodyte. Anyway, moving on. AAA games can outpace this kind of attention. Not quite. Suicide Squad is a very good example of that. Indie devs can't. In an algorithmic world where every bit of feedback has a huge impact, the fact that protests, reviews mask the actual reception of our game is extremely frustrating and disheartening. Oh my god, it's so difficult being woke in this world! Oh. Discussion points. What should Steam be doing about activist reviews? How can small indie teams protect themselves from this without self-censorship? Well, first and foremost, release your own goddamn platforms and hope the woke people actually realize what you're doing and that they are willing to pay money for it. But history has shown that woke people do not purchase or are interested in your goddamn fucking products or going woke products. Good example, Suicide Squad. Right. Well, okay, our game found some success, but any small game risks being buried by an angry mob before it gets any momentum of its own. And the current climate suggests indie devs should choose between inclusivity and financial success. Dude, that has always been the literal thing forever. Yeah. It has been the thing, because woke games, 90%, 95% tends to fail. Well, Dishonored 2 decided to go woke. Guess what happened? The entire IP is on hiatus right now. Let's ask Star Wars, how is that going? Huh? Yeah. Right. Would we and other devs make the same decision today? I'm not sure. Oh, thank God. I hope you people really think twice about this. And this doesn't even touch on the broader issue of games getting tagged in lists just for having female protags or diverse casts. No, it's not that the reason, you fucking idiots. Stop with the gaslighting. It's not because it has female protagonists. No, it's because they changed the story. Either the woman is censored, or her outfit is censored, or their outfit is censored, or there is multiple the reasons why. For instance, a strong, I don't know, powerful, sassy woman. Fuck off. There's multiple reasons why one would add a game into the woke list. Hey, let's take an example of Saints Row. You can actually create your character, but that game is woke as fuck. Anyway, finishing off. Idiots! To summarize the comments in this agreement which are getting downvoted despite being legitimate discussion, the opposing view is that these reviews are just part of the free market and represent demands within the consumer base, and that is all for including such risky content as pronouns. Well, yeah. Welcome to free society, or mostly free society. I know that in your dream of a socialist world, you prefer that it be censored and that people bow down to the government like a goddamn fucking proletariat in a communist world. I know that's what you want. Well, let's face it, if we lived in a socialist, if you idiots lived in a socialist country, you wouldn't literally be making games. You would be in the farm, well, breaking your back, carrying stuff. Yeah, or in a mine, who knows? Alright, the solution then is to just remove them, and if this is the case, then the devs needs to be way more aware of this and way more careful with what they decide to include in their games, because it carries legitimate risks. Steam will not and has no obligation to, there is no policy against it, to do anything about protest reviews, despite the common and incorrect opinion online that they will. Including this kind of thing is a risky decision, regardless of what or why you've done it. Indie devs should know that this is the case before making even apparently small decisions about their games. Fuck off, first and foremost. But people here are quite honestly, some of them are very good at, let me just say, they are very good at pointing out the absurdity of this, but I'm pretty sure most of them will end up getting banned out of the subreddit because the, moderators are really power-tripping morons. Right, let's highlight. I got some highlights here, but some people are actually supporting these developers, and they are, morons that possibly never purchased the game to begin with.
I can only speak as a consumer, and personally, if I look at the game's negative reviews and the only thing they had to complain was about pronouns, I'll assume the game is flawless. In other words, such reviews only matter to brain-rotted outrage addicts. The regular humans, they just make your game look good.
Oh, well, poor you. Thinking you can get rid of people who don't like your game isn't going to bring in new sales when you're chasing an audience that isn't buying the game to begin with. Is it fantasy? Yeah. This is for a very good point. Were you aware that this was a risk? We weren't, and the other indie devs should take note. And the guy here wrote, know your audience. Precisely. The audience who buys games, they are not woke. People who watch Star Wars are generally not woke. So, it means that failures like the current Star Wars tend to happen. Here's another one. What should Steam do about activist reviews?
My honest opinion is that including pronouns is also a form of activism. Therefore, I think that it communicated constructively. Activist reviews are fair game.
Yes, exactly. He's absolutely correct. It's just that Steam, unfortunately, it's every fucking creative space because people can't be asked to figure out that pronouns are just everyday English. No, it's not. Pronouns, normal pronouns like he, him, she, her are correct and used properly. They, them are rarely used to address singular individuals. But what you idiots are failing to realize is that you're trying to use they, them even in singular that should not and will not be correct, making even more, anything you're trying to do even more confusing. This is another one.
This type of response definitely sucks tremendously, and the people posting reviews like that can rightfully get fucked. All the same, I'm not for making alterations to the review mechanics.
At least this guy seems to realize that. Here is another good example of a positive, something that really hopefully doesn't get deleted. You could simply not add them if you think the negative feedback is disheartening to you. I'm sorry, but you don't get to make political decisions in your development. Complain that people from the opposite political spectrum also do political decisions not to play your game at the common place. And here is one that really deserves the title of Woketard. Any review that... No, wait. This needs a lisp. Any review that negatively mentions pronouns should automatically result in a ban from Steam, since obviously they lied about their age when they made the Steam accounts. The only people that have pronouns, have problems with pronouns in games are children and losers with mental capacity of children. Well, this one is a guy who literally projects. He's projecting. He doesn't seem to realize how English grammar works, how you need to be clear when you're trying to convey an idea, because the more convoluted your idea is, and you use even more convoluted words, the difficult it is for the other person to understand. This is why language is very important, because when it's clear, people can understand fast and you can communicate fast, and the people also avoid any misunderstanding. The moment you start adding retarded ideas like they, them to refer to singular individuals outside of very specific cases, you're just making it even harder to understand. Well, a good example is the Elder Scrolls game, which started to add they, them pronouns in their expansion packs. I got lost in the story. I just didn't even know what they were talking about in dialogue, and I said fuck this, and I started to skip the dialogue. I didn't even care about the story. I just wanted the reward and moved on. Is that what you want for your game and content? Because that's exactly what it's getting at. Here's another good example. That guy you lived is so cursed. I was dying at the he ending lesbian transphobes. So weird. Ah, fuck off. And there is a very good point in this guy's comment here. Are people really falling for this outrage marketing tactic? Such an obvious astroturfed thread. Yeah, there is a very good point. I think this may be allegedly created by the developers to possibly get more sales by generating outrage. Imagine getting a review bomb for simply having the option to show pronouns or showing a character's info section. Pronoun. Why do they add pronouns? Info. You know something most game encyclopedia does? Jeez. No, most game encyclopedias do not have fucking pronouns in the goddamn fucking list. But anyway, I decided to go and check out the game here on SteamDB, and it's absolutely hilarious. So 84.74%, which is 95.69% of 116 user reviews on Steam. But why the guy said 500? Didn't he say 500? I'm pretty sure it said 500. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? God damn it, stupid Reddit. Yeah, when we hit 500 reviews, you hit 500 reviews, it says 116 user reviews. Some things don't seem to match up, right? So, it managed to gather 47 people as the all-time peak last month. Players right now at 8. So basically, a very tiny niche game that nobody wants to play, and you'll try to pander to a demographic who even literally doesn't like paying for this stuff. And gaming. They generally view gaming as something as evil. So basically what we get here is really bad. And it's hilarious. Hey, a good example, Songs of Six. That game is not woke. And it's ultra niche, even more niche than this goddamn shit game. And boy, oh boy, It overthinks in numbers. Well, anyway, on that goddamn fucking hell, have a great fucking night. Oh, and remember, fuck wokenism and woke people. And laugh at them, point and laugh. This is exactly what they deserve.